Welcome today's host, Sarah Kemp, as she leads discussions on substance use disorder and the journey to recovery. You're listening to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution.
Well, hello, everybody out in listening land. This is Sarah filling in for Miss Caddy. She is out this week doing a Recovery Coach Academy within the Department of Corrections at Moose Lake. So I'm filling in for her this week, and my lovely guest is
Brandy Commodore.
And who are you?
I am a CPRS now.
What is a CPRS?
A Certified Peer Recovery Specialist.
Okay.
And I'm at Minnesota Recovery Connection.
Okay, so today's show is going to be all about Brandy. She's going to share her journey to recovery, how she got to Minnesota Recovery Connection. But before we do all that, I got to do a couple thank yous. So a special thank you to our generous funders, including the Patrick and Amy Butler Foundation, Otto Bremer Trust, the Sauer Family Foundation, the Hardenberg Foundation, alongside our other funders, corporate and individual contributors that help make this podcast series available to the public. And we also want to thank you for if you're an individual donor or if you volunteer with us. Either way that you help out Minnesota Recovery Connection, we thank you for your time and your money. And then also for those that don't know, September is Recovery Month. And we're also known for our Walk for Recovery. So we are inviting you to become part of our Walk for Recovery 2025. So we're asking you to join us on Saturday, September 13th at the Minnesota State Capitol grounds as we celebrate recovery, raise awareness, and unite thousands of Minnesotans to support hope and healing. We are working towards a $75,000 fundraising goal to make Recovery Month events like this possible. We also have our Rally Caps for Recovery. That's a Twins game. And we also have our gratitude breakfast with partnership of the Step Up program with Augsburg. So right now you can get discounted Rally Cap tickets and full information on the event at minnesotarecovery.org/twins. And also, whether you walk, cheer, or give, you can make an impact for our Walk for Recovery. So you can visit minnesotarecovery.org/walk to either register or to do a donation. But just know that together we can make this the biggest walk for recovery ever. Let's walk for hope and change and walk for recovery. Okay. Hoofta. That was a lot. My gosh. But just know that we are appreciative of all of our listeners because we couldn't do this without you. So Brandy.
Yes.
What is right with you today?
What is right with me today is I worked at Minnesota Recovery Connection today, and I'm here with you, and I'm very appreciative for that.
Okay.
What is right with you, Sarah?
I think what's right with me today is I get to host this show. When Caddy asked me originally, I wanted to say no because it makes me nervous a little bit. But the closer it got, the more excited I got to do it because I don't get to do things like this that often. I mean, I come on with Caddy and stuff like that, but I don't know, be the fancy pants leader of this whole thing. It's kind of cool. So, okay. So, like I said earlier, today's show is going to be all about Miss Brandy, her recovery journey, how she got to Minnesota Recovery Connection. So Brandy, why don't you start telling your story of who you are, how you got here, all that stuff.
Okay. So my name is Brandy, and I'm a 46-year-old mother and grandmother. I have 2 grandchildren. I have 4 daughters, and they age from 30, 25, 16 or 17 and 11. And then I have 2 grandkids as well.
I never thought you had grandkids. When you told me that, I was like, no, you don't.
Nobody believes me or that my oldest daughter is 30.
I did not believe you when you told me.
Yep. I am my daughter, oldest and I, we are 16 years apart. I had her early. And so she now has my grandkids. So yes. How I got to Minnesota Recovery, I started volunteering back in, I want to say February of 2025 is when I started volunteering. because I had a conversation with, I was having a conversation with my therapist via Zoom, and with mental health, with going through recovery, my recovery journey, I was put on disability, on Social Security disability. And I did that. That was, sweet. Thought life was going to be great. I don't have to work again. I don't have to have those pressures. And through my recovery journey of no use, and it'll be 5 years in December.
Yay.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was getting restless. I had
Yep.
felt like I had done all the classes, all the DBT, CBT, everything that I could almost do through therapy to get myself healed. Getting, with having no use, I was restless. And so she mentioned to me, she said, have you ever heard of being a peer recovery specialist? And I was like, a what? And so I didn't know what it was.
A lot of people still don't know what a peer recovery specialist is.
I had never heard of it. And she's like, there's peer recovery specialists. She said, you have learned experience, you have lived experience. Oh. And she said, have you thought about volunteering or getting back out there? And I was scared. I was like, nope. Yeah. But I was like, that's something I want to do. I feel like I've been doing this my whole life with different individuals that I thought were friends, maybe not so much, or people. And I was like, you can do this? And so I said, this is what I want to do. I'll never forget that. I said, this is what I want to do. She said, well, take it slow, think about it. I said, no, that's what I want to look into.
You knew right away this is something that you were passionate about.
Yes.
Before even doing the training and anything.
100%.
Wow.
Yep. And so her and I were meeting bi-weekly, and I said, I'm going to look into this. When we got off of our session, I Googled peer recovery specialist, and there were a few options in the Twin Cities, but Minnesota Recovery Connection came up first. So I looked at it. My heart just felt that's where I was supposed to be. Went to the website, and that's when I signed up for volunteering.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yep. That's what I did. And that's when I started volunteering, or started signing up for the volunteer class and the training.
What are you?
It was so when I did the volunteer, let me back up. When I did I signed up for, I want to be a volunteer.
Yep.
Then I got an email real quick back. I was like, oh, I like that about Minnesota Recovery Connection. They email you back where you don't get lost in the crowd.
You probably got an email from me.
I might have. And then I to do the it was the training, I want to say, for volunteering.
The orientation.
Yep. So then I did the volunteer orientation, and I told the person who did the orientation, I said, this is what I want to do. I said, when we get off the orientation, I said, I'm going to call you back because I want to know the next steps. I found my purpose. This is what I want to do. And then so started volunteering, met you, Sarah. And then I was doing volunteering. And then after that, I was like, they have a recovery class. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do the recovery class. And I was a little intimidated. Like, is this something I can do? I've sat in the house in my apartment for about 4.5 years now. Is this something I want to do? Then did the 46-hour classes with Caddy, and you were in there as well. And then, do you want me to keep going? That leads up to.
Can you do like a snippet of it?
Yeah. And so then I did the class, and after I did the class, the 46-hour training class, I was like, this is something I know for sure I want to do.
Yeah. And now look at where you are.
And now, yes, I am a seasonal worker. I went and got certified as of last Friday.
Yay.
I am a certified peer recovery specialist. And now I'm doing seasonal work at Minnesota Recovery Connection. And I'm actually getting income now.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
We were talking about that on the way over here. How just finding your purpose can make a huge difference.
Huge.
So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I know, I'm so happy too. It's a huge blessing for me and my children, and for me, because what I do reflects on my kids. So.
Right. And you were talking about on the way over here that they've seen you change since you started getting involved.
Yes.
And that's cool because they're seeing a mom that's happy and has purpose.
Yes, extremely.
So awesome. Well, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we'll hear more about Brandy. Thanks for listening.
turning
Doesn't this
16.
song make you think of the summer?
It does. It makes me happy. Like,
I know, we were just like bobbing our head in here, like just enjoying the moment.
it does.
I will say it every time. This song is summer to me. Well, welcome back to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution. I'm here with
Brandy Commodore.
Okay, so Brandy, I am wanting you to share your story as much as you're comfortable with.
Okay.
And we'll just have a conversation.
Okay. Well, so my story starts. I became a mother at 15, delivered my daughter at 16. And I didn't start getting into use until I was, I would say 18.
Okay.
And I'm 46 now. So I was 18. And how that started, what that looked like, was back in the 90s, it was more common to smoke weed. Marijuana was kind of how we started, or we had these things that were called house parties where it could be
these
in some
things
right?
like house parties don't happen anymore.
No, look, they were house parties in the basement.
Oh my god!
They were house parties in the basement. See, sometimes the 90s people make it sound like it's so far away, but we had house parties where it was like a Friday night, Saturday night, a friend's basement with the red light bulb on or the blue light bulb on, right? We had boom boxes and, the music was going and there was still breakdancing kind of back then. And so it was a house party. And my friends and I at the time, we were there and weed was being smoked in the air. And we thought we were cool.
Yeah.
And we took a hit from the weed and got goofy. And I thought that's what it was about cracking up, laughing, like, okay,
probably
this is
relaxing.
Relaxing.
Yep.
We danced. I thought it brought it out of my shell and was comfortable. And that was it for the night. And I think they had kegs of beer then. We took a sip. I didn't want to sip, but we did because we thought that was cool. And after the night was over, we'd go back home, and that was pretty much it. So I thought. And then
that's usually how it starts.
Right. So we thought, like, okay, this is nothing. And, a couple days later, like, we thought it was, it passed. Like, oh, so we only do these things on the weekends. All right.
Yep.
So as of my use of 18, I was on my own. And I was on my own with my daughter. And my daughter's father was a blessing. He stayed around and would take her on the weekends. I didn't know anything about relationships. I didn't know how to make that stuff work.
Yep.
And
so you could go to your house parties.
Right. So I went to my house parties while he had my daughter at his place, and then I had my place. And it gradually went into knowing somebody that worked at a bar or club. And though we weren't 21, I always held myself more mature than they thought. So it was one of those things that if, don't make a scene, don't do anything, but we'll let you guys in. So we were getting into underage clubs and bars.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
I'm sure in the 90s, it was easier.
It was so much easier
than trying to do it now, per se. But I mean, my boyfriend and I were even talking about this on our way home from International Falls on Tuesday about how, like, he had to drive his dad home drunk at 12. He was, and nowadays you can't
do that.
And so I imagine trying to get. I mean, I know you were 18, but still, you can get in and you got away with doing things you shouldn't be doing.
Yes,
so easily.
Yep. And the bouncers knew and how we would get in. We didn't even have to show ID. They had at the bar, it's no longer around now, but the club, they would stamp your hand.
Yep.
Well, one person would go in who was older. We'd look at the stamp on their hand, go take an ink pen and write the happy or whatever they would say on it, write it, smudge it in, don't get in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and we showed past the bouncer and we got in every Friday, Saturday for too many weekends.
Yep.
We got in. And that's how it started. Fun. Then it became fun. And then we were seeing things. I was seeing things. I'll speak for myself. I was seeing things that I did not need to be seen. I don't think anybody should be seen, but we were going to the bars and getting as many drinks as we wanted. And then not proud of this, but then getting in the behind the wheel to return back home because, you know, the alcohol was lying to us. Like, you drive better, you're more alert, because we didn't want to get pulled over, go to jail. So we're more conscious. And by the grace of God, we got, I was able to get home and get us home without hurting anybody.
And that's the scary thing about substance use disorder is that it lies to you.
Big time.
And there were many times that I shouldn't have driven, and I did when I was in my active use. And it's crazy scary.
Crazy
what
scary.
It does.
Yes. And so that went on for, I was 18. That went on until the 21 hit. By the time 21 hit, and then golden birthday. So I was 20. My birthday was on the 21st. Then I was 21. So then that means that you're supposed to extra party because it's your golden birthday. And I wasn't really into drinking, but I knew that when we were supposed to go to the clubs. So when we went to the clubs, those were big in downtown Minneapolis. We'd go to the clubs on the weekend and just drink. And then the bartenders would, and guys were buying us more drinks and stuff like that. And then we were drinking, but drinking still wasn't really my thing. I just knew it took me out of my shell, and I would dance, or I was more vocal.
Sure. Yep.
But
it made you feel like you could be you.
I could be me. Yes, and definitely.
And if you haven't had that before,
which I never did.
And that's the scary thing about this whole thing of substance use, is that it can bring you out of your shell and make you think you're doing better. But in reality, it might not be.
It was not. It was all going to catch up with me. Little did I know. And then it went to being 21, meeting my 25-year-old daughter, meeting her father. He was 5 years older than me. Now we're hanging with the older crowd, and they're smoking weed. Weed was the big thing to do, smoking weed. I'm like, all right, this is okay. I guess this is what we're doing now. But I don't like always being hungry, and I was still new to it. So I'm like, is this all it's about? It's just about being hungry and go out
just being
slow, you know. That's what we did. So did that. Didn't really like it. That was still kind of like a weekend thing. I was still getting up. I had my apartment, so I was still getting up, going to work. I was still handling my business. You know, I was still taking care of my oldest. She was going to her dad's on the weekends. Then I get pregnant with my second daughter, and he and I didn't work out, but I knew that I didn't want to be in these relationships. I was too young to be in my first relationship. He was the love of my life. First relationship, wanted to be with him, didn't know how to. Second relationship, I didn't want to be with him, but, you know, we tried to stay together for my second daughter, didn't work out. And then after that, turned into, this is where the real spiral happened, was because I didn't know who I was. I didn't feel sure of myself. Now I'm doing weed. Now I'm going to do this drinking thing. But then I've still got to be a mom. I wanted to be a mom. I knew I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be responsible. Trying to figure that out. Still figure out myself. What am I supposed to be doing?
Well, that's a lot at a young age.
Yeah.
That's a lot to
Life started at 16.
Out. Yeah. I mean, that's when I was 16, I was learning how to drive.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like that stereotypical like 16 life. Like that's what I went to school, learning how to drive, hung out with friends, watch TV, and you know what I mean? And you're trying to be a mom.
Working jobs, paying bills, paying rent, trying to figure out vehicles and what relationship looks like, society. How do you have 2 kids? Why aren't you married? But I knew something like, no, I had a little bit more for myself. Like, no, he's not who I want to be with. But then mental abusive relationships started coming in. And then not feeling what love was supposed to be. And then
figuring out what love is supposed to be.
What love meant.
Because if you didn't know, how do you know that, you know, being in an abusive relationship is an abusive relationship in the moment?
Right.
Like, how do you know that? You don't. So then did you stay?
I stayed from for we were together for about 2 years,
Okay.
off and on. And then I had my second daughter in the year 2000. So and then after that in the year 2000 is when the abuse started happening with him. He was older, and was doing a lot of things to me that I thought I was supposed to take and didn't realize it. And then when he finally left me and moved on, broke my heart. I wanted to numb that because I thought
Yep.
I thought what love was, that I loved you. How
Yeah.
are you gonna leave me? I
Yep.
loved you.
Yep.
So then it became into it started becoming into weed. And then it became I left my apartment, and then I moved back in temporarily with my mom. And so my mom was helping me watch
Yeah.
my younger two kids, and but she was still letting us go out. And my mom was supplying weed. You know what I mean? So I had the weed. My mom wasn't really into drinking, but she was supplying the weed, and she was my babysitter. So then that's when, yeah. And so we didn't have a close relationship, but that's how it started.
Yep.
And so then it was going out, and the next biggest thing we tried was ecstasy came in. And
Oh
yes,
boy.
so
Oh boy.
oh boy, because
That's a
weed,
thing all on its own. I've done it. I dabbled in it.
it is. And my friend and I, my group friend at this time, we were more so like, we're only going to do weed. We'll never do that. How do people do these things? What is that? We'll never do. We always say weed, never. Me, I personally believe that weed was my gateway to these other things.
Okay.
But I wasn't getting the feelings that I didn't want to be at my mom's. My heart was broken. I was trying to find myself, didn't understand a lot of stuff. So then we ran into a person at one of the clubs who told us what ecstasy pills were. And so we bought one, and it was super easy to get. We bought one. We went home that night after the bar, and she took one, I took one, and we really just sat there. It was just her and I, no kids were around. We just sat there and just looked at each other, kind of how we're sitting right now, played some music, and waited for whatever this experience was to kick in. And all I know is when it kicked in, I liked it.
Yep.
And it took us away. It was kind of like, we called it the confession pill.
Where I've heard people call it that.
Yes.
Because when people have taken ecstasy, it makes them talk.
Yep.
It makes people feel better. It makes them feel closer to people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
It was a lie.
It is.
But
it
did.
A lie.
We didn't know it. We didn't know it. And we were not in ideal living situation. She was going through. I was going through. So for the first night, we stayed up for probably like a good 24 hours just talking.
Yeah.
Smoking weed. Now we're smoking way more weed. We're spending all of our money. But we're drinking. We're not feeling the effects of that. And so we're combining all those stuff. We tried that for a week straight. And then after the week, okay, what else is next? This is boring.
Yeah. I tell you, I think I said this last week on the show. But the reason one of the reasons people continue to use substances is because you want that first feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted that first feeling of
again.
When you had that first pill of ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted that feeling again. So how do I get it?
Yeah.
If I'm not going to do ecstasy, like if ecstasy is not an option anymore, what can I do to get that?
Definitely. And chase that feeling. That was so accurate. Trying to find that first feeling, and then building up a tolerance to it. Like, this isn't working. Don't really want drinking. Don't like the sick feeling. Don't like that. Wasn't it? Weed was all right. That's there. But it was boring. So as time was going by, we just didn't feel like enough. Wanted that happy, high feeling. So later down the line, it gets into... like I said, I always worked.
Yep.
So I kept a job, and I always, for the most part, kept a place. And then we ended up, my kids and I don't remember the exact details on how, but somewhere in the use, wasn't getting along with mom. And mom's house was kind of a pit stop. Wasn't happy there. Didn't want to raise my younger two kids there. Get in place again. Find a new relationship. So it was multiple relationships down the line that I wasn't proud of, but got with. but I did know that, like, if you talk to me a certain way or if you start trying to abuse me, I'm not supposed to be in that. So you got to go. So then in saying that, then sometimes when you put these guys out, then there's no more financial help, and so my kids and I ended up in a shelter. The first time we went to a shelter, that was extremely traumatizing, but there was no use in the shelter. I had that part of it, like, no, I want to keep a roof over our head. I'm going to do whatever we have to get us back in a place. So I'm not going to
you went into mom mode almost.
Mom mode. Yep. Mom mode still was there. So that leads up to about 2008. So we're in the shelter. 2007, I met my ex-husband, and that was a situation to where was just didn't want to be in that relationship either, but was lonely, looking for whatever love was, and didn't want to feel feelings.
Yeah, that's usually what it. That's usually what it is. You just don't want to feel nothing.
No,
I get it.
Didn't want to drink, but weed was still a big thing, and you could go to the corner store, get something to drink, buy some weed on your way out. It was everywhere. I mean,
it's a one-stop shop.
It was a one-stop shop. Buy your munchies, get weed.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yep. So met my ex. Was now my ex-husband, and he was selling weed. Hey, do you smoke? You want to smoke? Okay, sure. Living dangerously. So we sit and we smoked, and hey, you don't like your life? You're not happy with yours? I think we really were high. I think we like each other a lot. I think we do. This is starting to be a weekly or a daily thing. After you get off work, after I get off work, let's roll up one. Let's talk. We feel like this is expanding our minds. And now we don't know if we love each other, but we think we do because we're used to this routine. Yeah. And
or you're being lied to again.
And we're being lied to again, right? This drug is lying to us.
I tell you, I think the main takeaway is that you've been through a lot because you're trying to figure out what love is, what a healthy relationship looks like. You had to grow up quickly because you had your two daughters at 16 and 7.
About 16 and like 20 something. Yeah.
I mean, that's young.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to figure out who am I? How do I be a mom? You're not wanting to feel anything because of, whatever. So you've been through a lot.
And, but the thing is, it was like, I didn't have any direction. I had people always telling me, like my mom, don't do this, don't do that, but not why. Why shouldn't I do this? But you're doing it. But why? But
why can't I do it?
Why can't I?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You've lived the same life I have, but why won't you give me answers? And so if you weren't going to tell me why, I was going to go figure it out on my own.
Yep. And sometimes that's how, at least for me, that's how I learn best.
Yeah.
Like I knew I shouldn't have.
Hands-on.
I mean, it is hands-on. But I also knew I shouldn't have been experimenting with meth, but I did. You know what I mean? And then, we all know my story. But I mean, if you're not going to tell me why I can't do something,
I'm going to go figure it out. Yep.
I learned from myself.
And my dad, the times that he was in my life, he told me that I was grown at 16 because I was a mother. I was grown. So there's no help from him. I had to figure it out. So that's what I did. I went to the streets to figure it out and found what I thought was love in the wrong places. And then got pregnant again, but we thought we were supposed to do it correctly by at least getting married. So we didn't really know each other, but okay, now I'm pregnant. So we got married in 2007. Had my daughter in 2000, my third daughter now in 2008. But I'm like, oh, we're family. We're doing this right.
Yeah.
He was probably about 12 years younger than me. And he didn't experience life. We were just, now I look back at it like we didn't know nothing from nothing. And
sometimes that's how it happens. And you just gotta.
We tried. It didn't. We didn't work. We were separated by. We got married June 13th of 2007. We were separated, I want to say, by the end of that summer, but I was pregnant. And then we had a place. We were separated. Then it was the shelter stuff. Then it was finding a place. It was going back. And but nobody still told us anything. Had my daughter prematurely, had her 2 months early. And, but she made it. She was very strong. She made it. Yep. She's 17 now. And, we were separated. I finally got divorced in 2016.
Wow.
From him, like, what are we doing? We're not even together. You don't, so then things became more real for me. And
well, yeah, because you have 3 kids now.
now I have 3 kids. I'm on my own. We're
Yep.
back in the shelter again.
Well, and then now
3 times in the shelter.
Well, and probably now you're thinking that I really don't want to feel anything.
I don't want to feel anything at all. My mom, there was no going back to her house. We were literally on our own. And so this final time we had went to a shelter, and even the shelter lady, she's like, I've taken you in this many times. What are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bounce back. I always do.
Mhm.
And I went to the shelter, and I have 3 kids. It's a trial basis of we have a couple weeks to figure out where we're going to live. I have to hurry up and find a new job because I was just bouncing jobs. You know what I mean? I didn't get
I feel
it.
like that's
Bouncing.
the MO. That's
Yes,
the MO.
I had so many jobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then after that was in the shelter, like, okay, it started becoming real. It was starting to be too much pressure. I want to be a mom, but everybody's down in me. My kids' dads are now down in me. Now I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom, and trying to figure this out. Something with my mental, it just didn't feel. I was tired.
Yeah.
Literally, I was literally worn
Well, I mean,
out,
that's
tired.
a lot. Well, and that's a lot to take on by yourself.
Yes.
That's a lot.
And I felt the world was against me. So I met a person. My kids were at school and daycare. I was at the shelter, and I met a person who the rules at the shelter were not to smoke. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to. And if you guys do drug test or whatever, nope, it's not going to be in my system. A person at the store, a different store, introduced me to K2.
My
the
goodness,
synthetic
woman.
weed. Yes, with synthetic weed.
Wow,
He said, try this. Here you go.
And you were like, okay.
Okay. He's like, it doesn't show up in your bloodstream.
Lies.
Right.
Lies.
So this individual, he said, if you want to try it, here's my number. And I was like, okay, well, I'll keep it for when I get out of the shelter. I'm going to try and follow the rules. But let me just, he said, do you want to hit it once and try it? And I was like, sure. So I was like, yep, I'll hit it once. And then when I get out of the shelter, I'll keep your number and call you back.
Yep.
I don't remember too much after that. I remember hitting it once, taking a puff off of it once. And I remember thinking that I saw the devil himself because I was...
hallucination.
Yes, I was hallucination. Instantly.
That's what I heard about. That's what I've heard about K2.
Instantly.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
I asked him, can you please call, or I said, I need to get to a hospital. He starts panicking. I remember that part, saying, no, I can't take you to a hospital. And I was fading. I knew I was fading away. Something was wrong. My life was flashing literally before my eyes. I knew I had to still get back to my kids. All these thoughts were going through my head. Long story short, he was pulled over to a dumpster in South Minneapolis because he was going to get ready and throw me in the dumpster.
What?
Mm-hmm. He was going to get ready and throw me in the dumpster. He pulled up to it, and I said, no, just leave me out here. Just leave me. I'll get there. He was going to throw me in the dumpster. And
dang.
Mm-hmm. And
that's messed up.
I was praying. In my head. Like, Lord, please, if you get me out of this, I swear I'm done. This is it. And the guy got a call on his phone and threw me out the car, didn't put me in the dumpster. And I remember, by the grace of God, literally, that I was able to get up and slowly start walking to get to the Metro Transit, to get back to the shelter, bypassed everybody at the shelter desk, got back to the room at the shelter, laid down for a little bit. But I knew I still had to get my kids.
Yep.
Got my kids. Never tried that again. And never heard from him. Felt horrible. That made me feel worse. Get out of the shelter. Speeding it up a little bit. Get out of the shelter. Now in my own place by myself. Have not dealt with any of my issues. My issues are now piling up. But I think I've got it because I'm just in mom mode.
And that's good. I mean, the thing is that you figured out that you needed to be a mom.
Yep, I still wanted to be a mom and not to show them any of that. And so now we moved to St.
So so let's hear a little bit more and then we'll go on a break.
So then we moved to St. Paul. We get our we're back in our final place, and thinking everything is going good, and was not using at that time.
Good. Good.
Yes.
Well,
it's a lot.
It is a lot. Oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
I do appreciate Brandy, though. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll hear the rest of Brandy's story and how she got to Minnesota Recovery Connection. Thank you.
Yes.
This guitar needs 6 strings.
Welcome back to Recovery. Oh my gosh. What is the name of my show? Not my show. Oh my gosh. Caddy's going to be so sad. Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution. Oh my gosh. That sounded just as goofy as Caddy and I were last week on the show. So anyway, we are here with
Brandy Commodore.
And she's going to finish up her story, how she got into recovery, what she's doing next, because it's very exciting for her and for Minnesota Recovery Connection. So take it away, ma'am.
Okay, so to sum that all up, so I went from drug to drug and get out the shelter. Still started dabbling, then got into meth. Meth was something that this can sound horrible, but I truly enjoyed. So I thought, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
So I
loved
did
it.
that for years, and it wasn't the actual stereotype to where you always lose weight necessarily. I didn't. Nobody, unless I said later, like now through my recovery, nobody really knew until I decided I wanted to get help. I was tired of this. And so final long story short is was tired of it. I was finally, tired of dabbling and stuff. I wanted to hit my stuff on head on, and I wanted to be the best mom that I could, no longer a hypocrite. And so what I did was I got into therapy, did some DBT classes, CBT classes. My pathway was spirituality. So I found God through my recovery because I felt that's the only person that kept me going and showed me what my purpose was.
Well, and I hope what you've taken away from all of it really is that you were doing the best you could for what you knew or what you didn't know. And you were just doing the best that you could.
Definitely what I can finally say now comfortably. Like I did the best with what I could and what I had.
Because you know that saying that Caddy says,
you don't know what you don't know
until you know it, and then you know it, and then you do better.
So I'm doing better now. And it's been it'll be 5 years, December 20th of no use. What it came down to was, did I want to get right? Did I want to get help and conquer this and get into different housing where I'd have more of a support system, or did I want to keep doing this? And I said, no, I wanted to do this. So December 10th of 2020 was the last day where I put everything down. I put meth down. I put cigarettes down, all of vaping, everything. I put that all down. And speeding up to now, this past February of 2025 is, like I said in the beginning, on how my therapist asked me about peer recovery services. Did I know what it was? I didn't. I started I did the orientation for volunteering at Minnesota Recovery Connection, enjoyed it. Just to know, I never knew that there was a community for recovery. I sat in my apartment just kind of like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, but I don't have a support system.
Yeah.
So Minnesota Recovery volunteering to where I was starting to volunteer. I wanted to just be around you guys at Minnesota Recovery Connection.
We've heard that before too, because I feel like, at least in my experience, having that community makes a huge difference.
Huge.
When I first got into recovery the first time, I was like, I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody else. And that was a bull-faced lie.
Yep.
Because I had to reuse very quickly after that. But once you find your people and your community and the people that get you, it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Because look where you are now.
Right. And there was no judgments. And I feel like I have just in passing, we're just a support system.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's pretty cool. From my experience, I've known Brandy since she started volunteering with us, and I've helped her with her journey of where she wants to be with getting applied to the class, volunteering, making sure she gets her hours in, all that stuff. And the growth that I've seen from you is so cool.
Really? Thank you.
It is so cool because what I love about my job is that I get to help guide people and figure out what they want to do in their recovery, right? And you figured it out. And you just used Minnesota Recovery Connection as your vessel to get there.
Yes.
And now you get to be a support for participants that come through our door.
Yes.
Or the referrals that we get from other organizations. Now you get to use your lived experience for the better.
Yes. I found my passion, and it becomes almost too natural for me, and to where it's like I don't get drained at the end of the day. What I do is if I help another person, if I can help one more person, or if they've listened, it recharges me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it.
I think that's going to be something that will help take you into a sustainable career as a certified recovery specialist.
Yes.
Because if you love it, it makes a difference.
I genuinely do.
And it's also important you're taking care of yourself.
Definitely. I definitely am. And Minnesota Recovery Connection. This is my thing, and I'm so grateful. Like I was telling you all the time.
She's getting a little emotional.
I always tell you I'm so thankful, and
I'm
so grateful. And my kids to see healthy mom, and
I can't even imagine because I don't. My kids are 2 cats.
Yeah. Oh, I have those too.
But I can't imagine that feeling that you get when your girls see you.
Yeah.
And you're healthy, you're happy.
Yeah.
You have your purpose again.
Yes.
Like you have all these things.
Yeah.
And now they get to see a healthy mom.
They do. And my 30-year-old is coming back into my life with my grandkids. And she's starting to understand that mom didn't know anything at 16. Yeah. And so she's watching my journey.
Anything at 16?
Right.
Let alone how to raise a kid.
Right.
And
they're seeing that the accomplishments. And so when I got my certification last Friday, she was, she sent me a little heart emoji on my phone, and my younger two, they're seeing this, that mom's doing this and she's healthy. And
that's awesome.
It's huge.
Brandy, look at you.
I know. So blessed and happy. And
I think, and I know Caddy talks about this and I talk about it too. This is what recovery does.
Yeah.
This is what recovery can do for people, is that it can get you your purpose again. It can help you find who you are as an individual, help you have that healthy relationship with your kids, your family,
my community, people I see, myself.
Yeah. So, this is what recovery is. And this is why it's possible. Definitely. And I don't want anyone ever to think that it's not possible for them.
It's definitely possible.
Because if Brandy and I can do it,
anybody can do it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because we both came out of unhealthy relationships, during our youth, and look where we are now. And if anything, I hope that we can provide hope for everybody that listens this week every week. But I don't know. I'm feeling very, motivational right now. And I don't know why, but it's coming out. But I just hope that, this show helps people realize that recovery is possible.
Definitely possible. Please believe it's possible.
Yeah, because it is. And we also want you to remember that Minnesota Recovery Connection is here for you. Yep. No matter where you're at if you're still using, if you're doing harm reduction, if you're recovery curious and you want to figure out what recovery is, what it looks like, what it can be, just know that we're here for you. We got wonderful people like Brandy.
Always.
To be there to support you and help you figure it out. So Brandy, we got about a minute and a half-ish left. Do you have any parting words?
Wisdom, I just want to piggyback what you said. Recovery, it's possible in our darkest moments. We don't believe that we're ever going to see the light, but it is there. Minnesota Recovery Connection. We are there for you. And like Sarah said, if we can do it, you can do it, and we're there to guide you and help you. And this has brought me to somewhere I never thought I'd be, from volunteer to seasonal positions. And then now in September, I'll be a housing navigator at Minnesota. Heading home at Minnesota
she's going to help people find housing.
Yes, that's a passion of mine too.
And she got to be on the radio today, everybody.
So thank you for listening to me.
That's so cool for her. She was a little nervous.
Very.
When we walked down the stairs to come record this, she stopped and just looked at me. And it's like, you can do this. This recovery makes you do hard things,
It
Brandy.
does.
And look where you are.
Yes.
So
Yes, this
I
is
want
awesome.
to thank everybody for listening this week. And next week, Caddy will be back. So you'll have your regular host. Have a good weekend.
Goodbye.